Stiff knees slowing you down? How one tiny capsule a day helped this 72-year-old garden pain-free again? The secret is going to be revealed. Before that, welcome to Elderly Active Life, where we share daily tips exclusively for seniors who want to live their golden years to the fullest. If you're tired of joint pain keeping you from the activities you love, don't go anywhere, because what you're about to discover could change everything. Picture this. Margaret, a vibrant 72-year-old from Colorado, used to wake up every morning dreading the simple act of getting out of bed. Her knees would scream in protest, her back would ache, and the thought of tending to her beloved rose garden, something that had brought her joy for over 3 decades, felt like an impossible mountain to climb. Sound familiar? But here's where Margaret's story takes an incredible turn. Just 6 months ago, she discovered something so simple, so accessible, that she couldn't believe she hadn't tried it sooner. Today, she spends hours in her garden, pruning roses, planting new flower beds, and even helping her neighbors with their landscaping projects. The secret? One tiny fish oil capsule every morning with breakfast. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking this is just another supplement pitch, stick with me, because the science behind this transformation is fascinating, and what you're about to learn could be the key to unlocking your pain-free mobility. If this sounds like something that could help you or someone you love, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Elderly Active Life. We upload fresh content daily, specifically designed for seniors who refuse to let age slow them down. The hidden enemy living in your joints. Let's talk about what's happening inside your body when you experience joint pain and stiffness. Most people think it's just normal aging, but that's not the whole story. The real culprit is something called chronic inflammation, a silent fire burning inside your joints that destroys cartilage, reduces mobility, and causes that persistent aching pain that seems to get worse every year. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. Inflammation isn't just about your joints. It's a whole body problem that affects your heart, your brain, your immune system, and even your mood. When inflammation runs rampant in your body, it creates a cascade of problems that can make you feel decades older than your actual age. But here's the incredible part, and this is where Margaret's story gets really interesting. There's a natural way to fight this inflammation from the inside out, and it's sitting right there in your local pharmacy or grocery store. The omega-3 revolution, your body's natural anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Fish oil contains something truly remarkable. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. Think of these as your body's natural firefighters, rushing to put out the flames of inflammation wherever they find them. But here's what makes this so special for seniors. Research shows that as we age, our bodies become less efficient at producing these inflammation-fighting compounds on their own. A groundbreaking study published in the journal Nutrients followed 152 older adults for 16 weeks. The results were nothing short of remarkable. Participants who received fish oil supplementation experienced a 42% reduction in overall chronic pain, with osteoarthritis-specific pain dropping significantly. That's not a small improvement. That's life-changing relief that could mean the difference between being bedridden and being active in your garden. But how does this work? When you take fish oil, the EPA and DHA travel through your bloodstream and get incorporated into your cell membranes throughout your body. Once there, they begin displacing pro-inflammatory compounds and shifting your body's chemistry toward healing rather than destruction. Dr. Gerald Olefsky from the University of California, San Diego, discovered that omega-3 fatty acids bind to specific receptors called GPR120, which literally shut down almost all of the inflammatory pathways. It's like flipping a switch from inflammation to healing throughout your entire body. The garden connection, why this matters more than you think. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with gardening? Everything. Gardening isn't just a hobby. It's one of the most powerful forms of exercise specifically designed for seniors. When researchers studied the physical demands of gardening, they found it burns between 135 and 189 calories per 30-minute session, equivalent to walking, cycling, or yoga. But here's the beautiful part. Gardening engages every major muscle group in your body. The bending, lifting, Digging and reaching movements work your core, strengthen your legs, improve your balance, and maintain the flexibility that keeps you mobile and independent. It's like having a personal trainer, but instead of grunting through boring exercises, you're creating beauty and growing things that nourish your soul. Margaret discovered this firsthand. Once her joint pain began subsiding, thanks to her daily fish oil routine, she found herself naturally gravitating back to activities she'd abandoned. "I started with just 10 minutes of light weeding," she told us, "but within a month I was spending entire mornings in my garden and I felt more energetic than I had in years." Are you starting to see how this could work for you? Drop a comment below and tell us about the activities you've had to give up because of joint pain. We read every single comment and love hearing your stories. The science behind the magic, how fish oil transforms your joints. Let's dive deeper into what's happening inside your joints when you start taking fish oil consistently. Your joints are surrounded by something called synovial fluid. Think of it as the oil in your car's engine, providing smooth lubrication so everything moves without friction. As inflammation increases with age, this synovial fluid becomes thicker and less effective. It's like trying to run your car on molasses instead of proper motor oil. Everything becomes stiff, painful, and difficult to move. But here's where fish oil works its magic. The omega-3 fatty acids improve the health and quality of your synovial fluid, making it more effective at lubricating your joints. Research published in the journal Nutrients examined synovial fluid samples from people with osteoarthritis and found that those with higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids had significantly less joint inflammation and better cartilage preservation. In other words, fish oil doesn't just mask the pain, it helps heal and protect your joints from further damage. But the benefits go even deeper. Fish oil helps your body produce specialized compounds called resolvins and protectins. Think of these as your body's natural healing molecules. These remarkable substances don't just reduce inflammation, they actively promote tissue repair and regeneration. It's like having a construction crew constantly working to rebuild and maintain your joints. The right way to take fish oil: dosage, timing, and safety. Now that you understand the science, let's get practical. Not all fish oil supplements are created equal, and taking the wrong amount or the wrong type could mean the difference between dramatic results and disappointment. For seniors, the sweet spot appears to be between 250 to 500 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily. However, for those dealing with significant joint pain, some studies have used higher doses of up to 2,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA. The key is starting low and gradually increasing to assess your body's response. Here's something crucial that most people get wrong: timing and absorption. Fish oil is fat-soluble, which means you need to take it with a meal containing some fat for optimal absorption. Margaret takes her fish oil capsule every morning with her breakfast, which includes a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. The healthy fats help her body absorb every bit of those inflammation-fighting omega-3s. Safety is paramount, especially for seniors who may be taking other medications. While fish oil is generally considered safe, it can enhance the effects of blood-thinning medications. However, a large study of 573 patients taking warfarin found that fish oil supplementation didn't significantly affect blood clotting when taken at normal doses. Still, it's always wise to consult with your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement regimen. Real results. What to expect and when. Let's set realistic expectations based on the research. Most studies show that you'll begin noticing improvements within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent fish oil supplementation. This isn't an overnight miracle, but rather a gradual transformation as your body's inflammatory balance shifts. Margaret's experience mirrors what researchers have documented. "The first thing I noticed wasn't less pain," she explains, "but less stiffness when I woke up in the morning. By week 6, I realized I wasn't automatically reaching for the railing when going upstairs. By month 3, I was planning weekend gardening projects that would have been unthinkable before." The research backs this up beautifully. In the 16-week study we mentioned earlier, participants didn't just experience pain reduction, they also reported improvements in overall well-being, better sleep, reduced mood disturbances, and enhanced quality of life. It's as if reducing inflammation in the joints creates a positive ripple effect throughout the entire body. If you're ready to take action on this information, Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our daily tips for active senior living. We're building a community of seniors who refuse to let age define their limitations. Beyond pain relief, the unexpected benefits. Here's something that might surprise you. While Margaret started taking fish oil for her joint pain, she began noticing other improvements she hadn't expected. Her thinking seemed clearer, her mood was more stable, and even her skin looked healthier. These weren't coincidences. They were documented benefits of omega-3 supplementation in seniors. Research shows that the same omega-3 fatty acids that fight joint inflammation also support brain health, potentially reducing the risk of cognitive decline. DHA, one of the primary components in fish oil, is highly concentrated in brain tissue and plays crucial roles in memory formation and mental clarity. The cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. Studies indicate that regular fish oil supplementation can help lower triglyceride levels, reduce blood pressure, and decrease the risk of heart disease, all critical concerns for seniors. It's like getting multiple health benefits from a single, simple intervention. Margaret noticed these changes too. I started sleeping better, feeling less anxious about daily activities, and even my family commented that I seem more like my old self again, she shares. It wasn't just about the garden, though that was the catalyst. It was about feeling vital and capable again. The economic impact, how fish oil pays for itself. Let's talk about something that matters to every senior. Cost. High-quality fish oil supplements typically cost between $15 to $30 per month, depending on the dosage and brand you choose. That might seem like an expense, but consider the alternative costs of chronic joint pain. The average senior with arthritis spends thousands of dollars annually on doctor visits, prescription medications, physical therapy, and medical devices. Many are forced to hire help for basic household tasks or yard work they can no longer perform themselves. Margaret calculated that in the year before discovering fish oil, she spent over $3,000 on medical treatments and hired help for her garden maintenance. Now I spend maybe $25 a month on fish oil and I'm doing all my garden work again, she laughs. I've probably saved thousands of dollars, and more importantly, I've regained my independence in the activities that bring me joy. But the real value isn't just financial, it's the opportunity cost of missed experiences. How do you put a price on being able to play with grandchildren on the floor, take long walks with your spouse, or pursue hobbies that light you up inside? Choosing the right fish oil, quality matters. Not all fish oil supplements are created equal, and choosing the wrong one could significantly impact your results. Here's what you need to look for when selecting a high-quality fish oil supplement. First, check the concentration of EPA and DHA on the label. Many cheaper supplements are mostly filler oil, with minimal amounts of the active omega-3 fatty acids you need. Look for supplements that clearly state the exact amounts of EPA and DHA per capsule, and aim for a combined total of at least 250 to 500 milligrams. Second, purity matters enormously. Fish can contain contaminants like mercury, PCBs, and other toxins that you don't want in your body. Look for supplements that have been third-party tested for purity and carry certifications from organizations like the International Fish Oil Standards IFOS program. Third, consider the form of the fish oil. Triglyceride forms of omega-3s are generally better absorbed than ethyl ester forms, though both can be effective. Some seniors find that enteric-coated capsules reduce the fishy burps that can sometimes occur with fish oil supplementation. Margaret tried 3 different brands before finding one that worked well for her. The first one gave me an upset stomach. The second was so weak I couldn't tell if it was working, but the third one, a high-quality, concentrated formula, made all the difference, when she explains. Complementary strategies, maximizing your results. While fish oil can be remarkably effective on its own, combining it with other evidence-based strategies can amplify your results even further. Think of it as creating a comprehensive anti-inflammatory lifestyle rather than relying on a single intervention. Diet plays a crucial role in managing inflammation. The Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, leafy greens, fatty fish, and colorful vegetables, provides additional anti-inflammatory compounds that work synergistically with fish oil supplements. Margaret began incorporating more of these foods into her daily routine, creating what she calls her garden-to-table approach to eating. Gentle, consistent exercise is another powerful tool. Once Margaret's joint pain began improving, she gradually increased her physical activity beyond gardening. She started with 10-minute morning walks, eventually building up to 30 to 45 minutes of daily movement, including gardening, walking, and simple stretching routines. Sleep quality also significantly impacts inflammation levels. Poor sleep increases inflammatory markers throughout the body, potentially counteracting some of the benefits of fish oil supplementation. Margaret invested in blackout curtains and began a consistent bedtime routine, which improved both her sleep quality and her overall sense of well-being. Let's address some of the common concerns and misconceptions about fish oil supplementation that might be holding you back from trying this natural approach to joint health. Fish oil is just expensive fish. I can get the same benefits from eating more fish. While eating fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines is certainly beneficial, most people don't consume enough to get therapeutic levels of omega-3 fatty acids. To get the same amount of EPA and DHA found in a high-quality fish oil supplement, you'd need to eat fatty fish 3 to 4 times per week consistently. Fish oil will interfere with my medications. This is a legitimate concern that deserves careful consideration. While fish oil is generally safe, it can enhance the effects of blood-thinning medications. However, research shows that at normal supplementation doses, clinically significant interactions are rare. Always consult with your healthcare provider, especially if you're taking anticoagulant medications. I've tried fish oil before, and it didn't work. Often this comes down to dosage, quality, or consistency issues. Many people try low-quality supplements at insufficient doses for too short a period to see results. The research is clear. You need adequate amounts of high-quality EPA and DHA taken consistently for at least 4 to 6 weeks to begin seeing meaningful improvements. Margaret herself was skeptical initially. I'd tried glucosamine, chondroitin, turmeric, you name it, I tried it. But my doctor explained that fish oil works differently, targeting the underlying inflammation rather than just trying to rebuild cartilage that was already damaged. That made sense to me. The gardening renaissance, rediscovering joy and movement. One of the most beautiful aspects of Margaret's story is how addressing her joint pain opened the door to rediscovering her passion for gardening, which then created a positive spiral of improved health and happiness. This connection between pain relief and purposeful activity is something researchers are increasingly recognizing as crucial for successful aging. Gardening provides what scientists call functional fitness, movements that directly translate to daily living activities. The squatting motion used for planting strengthens the same muscles needed for getting up from chairs. The reaching and stretching involved in pruning improves shoulder mobility for reaching items on high shelves. The walking and standing endurance required for garden maintenance translates directly to better mobility in daily life. But perhaps even more importantly, gardening provides a sense of purpose, accomplishment, and connection to nature that feeds the soul in ways that purely physical exercise cannot. Margaret describes it perfectly. When I'm in my garden, I'm not exercising. I'm creating, nurturing, and connecting with something larger than myself. The physical benefits are wonderful, but the emotional and spiritual benefits are what transform my life. This is supported by research showing that gardening activities can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety while improving overall life satisfaction in older adults. It's a perfect example of how addressing one health issue, joint pain, can create cascading improvements across multiple dimensions of well-being. Planning your fish oil journey, a step-by-step approach. If you're ready to explore whether fish oil could help improve your joint health and mobility, here's a practical step-by-step approach based on the research and Margaret's experience. Weeks 1 to 2. Start with a high-quality fish oil supplement, providing 250 to 500 milligrams combined EPA and DHA daily. Take it with breakfast or your largest meal of the day to maximize absorption. Keep a simple daily log noting your pain levels, stiffness, and any side effects. Weeks 3 to 4. Continue the same dosage while paying attention to subtle improvements. You might notice less morning stiffness or easier movement before you notice significant pain reduction. This is normal and indicates the supplement is beginning to work. Weeks 5 to 8. This is typically when more noticeable improvements occur. If you're not seeing adequate results, consider increasing to 1,000 milligrams combined EPA and DHA daily, especially if you're dealing with significant joint pain. Weeks 9 to 12. Evaluate your overall progress and consider whether you want to maintain your current dosage or make adjustments. Many people find that once inflammation is under control, they can maintain benefits with lower maintenance doses. Margaret's advice for newcomers is simple. Be patient with yourself and consistent with the supplement. I marked my calendar every day for the first month to make sure I didn't forget. It took about 6 weeks before I noticed a difference. But once it started working, the improvements continued for months. The ripple effect, how pain relief transforms lives. What makes Margaret's story so compelling isn't just that she found relief from joint pain. It's how that relief opened up a whole new chapter of active, purposeful living. This ripple effect is something researchers call successful aging, and it's characterized by maintaining physical function, cognitive health, and active engagement with life well into the golden years. When chronic pain is removed from the equation, seniors often rediscover interests and abilities they thought were lost forever. Margaret's neighbors have noticed the change too. She went from being someone who rarely left her house to being the neighborhood gardening consultant, laughs her next-door neighbor Betty. She's helped 3 of us design new flower beds this year, and her enthusiasm is contagious. This social aspect of renewed activity is crucial for senior health. Research consistently shows that social engagement and purposeful activity are among the strongest predictors of longevity and life satisfaction in older adults. When joint pain keeps you from participating in activities you love, it creates a cascade of social isolation, reduced physical activity, and declining mental health. Fish oil supplementation, by addressing the underlying inflammation that causes joint pain, can break this negative cycle and replace it with a positive spiral of increased activity, social engagement, and overall well-being. It's not just about moving without pain. It's about reclaiming your life and your identity as an active, capable person. Safety considerations and when to seek medical advice. While fish oil is generally very safe for most seniors, there are some important safety considerations to keep in mind, especially given that many older adults take multiple medications and may have various health conditions. The most significant interaction to be aware of is with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel. Fish oil has mild anti-clotting effects, which can be beneficial for heart health, but may enhance the effects of these medications. However, research suggests that at normal supplementation doses, clinically significant bleeding risks are rare. If you're taking blood pressure medications, monitor your blood pressure more closely when starting fish oil, as omega-3s can have a mild blood pressure lowering effect. This is generally beneficial, but it could potentially make blood pressure too low in some individuals. People with diabetes should also monitor blood sugar levels closely, as some studies suggest fish oil might have mild effects on blood glucose control. Again, this is typically beneficial, but it's worth monitoring. Margaret worked with her doctor when starting fish oil supplementation. He was very supportive once I showed him the research, she explains. He adjusted the monitoring schedule for my blood work and checked in with me after 6 weeks to make sure everything was going well. Beyond the individual, building community around active aging. One unexpected outcome of Margaret's transformation has been the way it's inspired others in her community to explore natural approaches to aging well. She's become an unofficial advocate for what she calls proactive aging, taking steps to maintain health and vitality rather than simply accepting decline as inevitable. I've learned that aging doesn't have to mean giving up the things you love, Margaret reflects. Yes, we need to be smart about it and work with our doctors, but there are often natural solutions that can help us maintain our independence and joy much longer than we thought possible. She started a small group at her local senior center where people share strategies for staying active and healthy. Fish oil is just one topic they discuss, along with gentle exercise routines, brain-healthy diets, stress management techniques, and social engagement activities. This community aspect of healthy aging cannot be overstated. Research consistently shows that seniors who are connected to supportive communities and have a sense of purpose experience better physical and mental health outcomes. Margaret's garden has become a gathering place where neighbors share advice, admire each other's flowers, and support one another through the challenges that come with aging. We're building that same kind of supportive community right here on Elderly Active Life. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any of our daily tips for living your best life after 60. And please share this video with anyone you know who might benefit from learning about this natural approach to joint health. If Margaret's story resonates with you, the question becomes, what are you going to do with this information? Knowledge without action remains just interesting information rather than a life-changing transformation. Start by having an honest conversation with yourself about how joint pain and stiffness are currently impacting your life. What activities have you given up? What dreams have you put on hold? What would become possible if you could reduce your pain and improve your mobility? Next, research high-quality fish oil supplements and consult with your healthcare provider about whether this approach might be appropriate for your specific situation. Come prepared with questions and specific information about the supplements you're considering. Consider what activities you'd like to return to once your joint health improves. For Margaret, it was gardening, but for you it might be dancing, hiking, playing with grandchildren, or pursuing a hobby you've abandoned. Having a clear vision of what you want to achieve can provide powerful motivation during the initial weeks of supplementation. Remember that this is a journey, not a destination. Margaret continues to take her fish oil daily, tends her garden regularly, and looks for new ways to stay active and engaged. She's not trying to turn back the clock. She's maximizing the potential of her current life stage. I wish I'd known about this approach years ago, Margaret admits, but I'm grateful I discovered it when I did. Every day I can spend in my garden, every project I can complete, every neighbor I can help. These are gifts I thought I'd lost forever. The path to pain-free mobility and renewed vitality might be simpler than you think. It might start with something as basic as one tiny capsule taken consistently every morning with breakfast. The research supports it. Real people like Margaret are living proof of its potential, and your golden years are waiting to be reclaimed. Your garden, whether it's an actual garden or a metaphor for the activities and passions that bring you joy, is waiting for you to tend it once again. The question is, are you ready to take that first step? Remember, here at Elderly Active Life, we believe that your best years don't have to be behind you. With the right information, the right approach, and the right support, you can continue growing, thriving, and contributing well into your golden years. We're here to help you every step of the way with daily tips, research-based advice, and inspiring stories from seniors who refuse to let age define their limitations. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, it's never too late to plant the seeds for a healthier, more active tomorrow.